Prompts are associated with activities and play messages when a caller reaches the associated activity in a workflow. Prompts can be individual WAV files or multiple WAV files joined together to form a custom message. When a message is played in the IVR, it is played from a prompt. To configure a prompt, right-click on the menu branch, select Edit Instruction Prompt. Here, you can choose Select from an existing prompt once you have created it. By default, no instructions are assigned. To assign a prompt, from the IVR routing menu, select Prompts. To create a new prompt, click Add, enter a name. Select Custom WAV files. The language preference is set to the site language by default. Select the language for the prompt. The IVR requires audio files that are 8 kilobits 8 Hz, ULAW WAV format. A properly formatted new WAV file is added to the custom folder. All manually added audio files are found in YourSite Explorer under Custom WAV Files. To assign a file, double-click the WAV file to move it to the selected members area. Multiple WAV files can be assigned. They are played in the order they are added. You can reorder the files, select the file, click the arrow buttons to reorganize. By default, a short pause plays between WAV files. If more time is needed, silent WAV files can be added between the audio files. There is no limit to the number of WAV files that can be played. After selecting WAV files, save the changes, return to the workflow, right-click the menu branch, select Edit Instruction Prompt, click Select from an existing prompt, scroll and select the appropriate prompt. We picked the main menu prompt that was already created. Click OK. Let's look at creating new audio prompts. There are several ways to create your own custom WAV files. Existing WAV files can be copied to the custom folder on the server. From the prompt section, click Add an existing WAV file, or if logged into YourSite Explorer on your local computer, click Add. Choose Existing WAV file. Select and upload the file to the server. You can record a new prompt from your computer with a microphone. Choose Record WAV file. Virtual environments do not have microphones. Messages can be recorded within the IVR itself. Authorized users can access the record function from a workflow. An ANI or DNIS condition can route calls to the record activity. The record activity is pre-configured by default. The caller is routed to the record option, with instructions telling the caller to record a message. By default, there is a maximum message length of 2 minutes. You can increase the maximum time. Once the message has been recorded, the caller presses 1 to end the recording. The newly recorded message is saved under the name New Recording with date and timestamp. There is no limit to the number of recordings that can be made. All recordings are saved in the recording subfolder for the selected language. You can rename the recording to make it easier to find. In the folder, right-click on the name, select Rename from the menu. Enter a new name. To make the recording available, move the WAV file to the custom folder under the appropriate language. The message is now available to be assigned to a prompt. Workflows are executed in the default site language unless a language activity has been included in the workflow. Businesses often interact with customers who speak different languages. Individual prompts can be configured to handle multiple languages. The language activity can support multiple languages in a single workflow, reducing the number of prompts. Let's use an example of a local municipality to configure a main menu that has a language prompt and uses the language activity. Our main menu has options for various departments. It plays a message telling callers to press certain digits for the given options. The caller needs to be able to choose to hear the menu options in English or French. To configure, we need to add a menu before our main menu. Our menu needs 2 language options, French and English. We need a message to play asking the caller in English to choose option 1 for English, and then in French to choose option 2 to continue in French. To configure, create a new prompt. From the IVR routing menu, select Prompts, click Add, enter a name, select Custom WAV files. We have already recorded the message. Double-click the WAV file to move it to the selected members area. Select your workflow. Assign the prompt to the first menu. Now, when a caller routes to the first menu, a message plays with the instructions to choose 1 for English and 2 for French. When option 2 is selected, the main menu needs to play a message in French with the menu options. To configure a prompt that has both languages, create a new prompt. Go to Custom WAV files. The WAV files are in the default site language, English, US. Move the message to selected members. Select the General tab. Click the Language menu. Select French Canadian. Go back to Custom WAV files. There is no message selected. Move the message over to the French Canadian folder. Toggle the selected language folders to confirm the language message choices have been moved. For each language option, you must move its language message to its language folder and assign it. The prompt is available to be assigned. Assign the prompt to the main menu. For the system to play the message with the main menu options in the selected languages, we need to add a language activity. From the toolbox, drag and drop the language activity beneath the language branch. Right-click the French language header, select Language, select French. Now, when a call is answered, it routes to the first menu. If the caller selects English or does not make a selection, the call routes to the main menu and plays the message in English. If the caller selects French, the call routes to the main option menu, but will toggle the language and play the message in French. Callers hear messages played in French that route through the French language option. All messages play in French from this point on until the call ends or another language activity is reached. The system plays the default messages in the selected language where the language activity is used. This includes invalid choice or timeout messages. The prompts for these messages have all the languages we support.